All right, guys, it's the Dre B. Rambo Show. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dre B. Rambo. And today I'm going to be talking about marriage. Marriage. Okay, so I got a text message yesterday from my wife, and she's like, yo, dude, the sink is leaking, and, it's got to be fixed. And I wish I could tell you that that her text message was a friendly one. But to be honest with you, it wasn't as bad as the messages usually are. Usually it comes with like, you're a bum and the house is falling apart and you're not doing anything, right? But my wife, she's been making a lot of effort to come at me a little better. But that being said, I could read between the lines her disappointment in how I haven't fixed the sink. As you can see, there's a leak. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably won't be able to see it, but water is literally just coming out of the thing nonstop, and it's probably costing us a great deal of money on the electric bill or the water bill or whatever. And so normally when I get these crazy messages, or these messages are usually not very friendly, and so usually I'll blow up and get all upset and defensive, and I'll just be like, I do a lot around here. You don't appreciate anything I do. You don't respect me. And so one of the things that I've learned is, first of all, you can't demand respect. If you're in your marriage, you feel like you're not getting the respect you feel you deserve, put that out of your head because you're never going to get it. But there's things that we can do that will help us manage our way through our marriage, like improve our marriage. You have to excuse me, I didn't really prepare for this, but the ideas are in my head. And so, anyhow, I'm going to fix the sink and talk a little bit about what I've been doing to help improve my marriage by actually putting all the focus on improving myself. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about our partners or our wives or husbands. All we can do is work on ourselves and be able to change how we respond to certain triggers that we have in our marriage. Because at the end of the day, we can't control the other person. All we can do is control ourselves. So as part of that, we have busy lives and schedules and things that we have to do. And most people wouldn't know this about me, but lately, over the last 25 days now, I think it is, I've been implementing increasingly amounts of self-discipline where I'm just kind of taking it to the next level. I've always had some discipline, but not a lot. Or my wife would tell you I had never had any discipline at all. However, what I've noticed is that if I just work on myself and improve myself, and not make it all about me, of course, because there's two of us, but by focusing on the things I do have control over, the person I have control over is who is me, things can actually start to improve. So think about that. We only have control over ourselves. We can never ever enter into the mind or the body of another human being and actually control them like puppets and thinking that they're just gonna do whatever the heck we want them to do. Just life doesn't work that way. So but we also have these other things that we want to do, right? I just got done doing my run. I had to wake up super early, 3:00 in the morning, get myself ready, brush my teeth. I don't know why I brush my teeth to go run, but I do because I don't want to smell my own breath. But I brush my teeth, put my clothes on. You can see I'm still a little sweaty. Go run my 3.5 miles, and I was running super slow today. But so it's about 5 in the morning right now. So I'm doing this super early, and I got to do it. I got this idea because the boys, my wife's sons, wanted to sleep with their mom last night, in our room. And in our room is where I have my podcast studio. If you've watched a couple episodes, you've seen it. And I slept, in the room with my kid, with my daughter, right? So, but I thought to myself, well, I wanted to be consistent and do my show. I don't want to let days have gaps and when I do a recording, because I know that in order to get good at doing podcasts, I got to keep doing recordings. I got to keep recording, keep talking, Like, this is not going to be the first time I talk about this issue with the marriage thing. But I know that I have to keep having episodes and keep talking so that I could fine tune those things. And it's kind of like fine tuning your marriage, because what I have to do is fix this sink. Why do I have to fix this sink? Because I need to create peace in the home. My wife's not going to fix it, and no one's going to expect my wife to fix it. That's why she has a man. That's why she has a husband, to fix stuff. And what people don't realize oftentimes is that, men anyway, don't realize, is that your wife or your girlfriend, if you have one, is looking to you to be the strong one in the relationship. Women don't want to have to be the strong one in the relationship, in my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, ladies, let me know in the comment section. And I know a lot of you are strong, but you don't want to be with a man who you're stronger than, I would imagine. And so women need men to do man stuff. And part of doing that is fixing sinks. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my trusty drill here. This is a Manly Roy Bowl. I think it's like a 15 volt or something like that. 18 volt drill. Got a lot of power. And for whatever reason, this was installed before I got here, so it's got some screws. I took a couple of them out so that I wouldn't have to do it while we are here doing a recording. So, see all this water? When it's leaking like that, this is like the juice in my marriage draining out of our lives. So I gotta see if I could. Looks like there might be one more screw somewhere. Or maybe not. Oh, look at the power I got. I keep forgetting how strong I am. I got a lot of muscles, guys. I think that might go back in there. Here I am talking about doing manly stuff, and another one fell. Oh no, it's the same one. Oh crap. So there's a pipe here that I gotta take off. So I should probably figure out how to turn off the water. So I was hoping I could move the sink first. I'm gonna turn that. That's still going. And that's still going. So that's obviously not the water. So I could probably turn that back on. Probably the water for the washing machine. There's probably another thing here. Here we go. Boom. And just like that, the water's turned on. Nope. Looks like I got the hot water. Let's see what happens if I do that. Nope. Okay, well obviously I'm not the brightest guy. These are to the water. These are to the... Let's see where that bad boy goes. Okay, well, I'm not going to let you guys just sit through this. Point is, like I was saying, let me stop it for here. Okay, so I'm back. I figure if I can cut one and if I can put 2 videos together, I could probably do 3. So, problems in marriage, problems in life. So, as you can see here, I wanted to replace the sink, but the water, hot water, that runs out of the house doesn't have a shut-off valve. So I would have to shut off the water to the whole house or to the back house. And I don't know where either one of those things are. Well, I don't know where the hot water one is. So, problem solved. So what I did was I took this off, the little piece on top, because I was just going to get myself a brand new sink. But instead, I can just go to the store. Oop, that wasn't a good idea. I'm going to have to replace that, I guess, right when I do it. Otherwise, water is going to leak. So anyway, that's what we got to do. That's what I got to do. So I got to go to the store now, and I got to buy those little pieces. These little guys right here. See this right here? Where's the camera? Is that the camera right there? Nope. There's the camera right there. I got to buy one of these little things right here, so you can see. This thing is leaking. I don't know why, and I don't care why. I just gotta stop the leak. Kind of like how I have to stop the problems that are going on in my marriage, right? There is no problems going on in my marriage, but so what I figured out is that if I just reorganize my time, I can't do the podcast in the morning because the boys are with their mom, and if I go and I start recording a podcast while they're all sleeping, that's just gonna piss the wife off, right? So I devised a way last night. I was like, all right, well, how can I do my podcast and also fix the sink and create peace in the home? Well, it's real simple. It all boils down into discipline and using the brain, right? I wake up early in the morning. I still get my run in. I come and I start early fixing the sink before I have to go to work and take my kid to school and all that, right? I ran into some problems. We're always going to run into problems, right? We have to adapt, overcome this stuff, right? So right now, I haven't figured it out yet, but that's what men do. We figure this thing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the store. I don't think it's 6 o'clock yet. They're probably not even open yet because just my luck, nobody wakes up early. Or the stores don't wake up early, I should say. Or start early. But I got to grab these 2 things and then I got to replace them. And I got to do it all before everybody wakes up. And I got to do it all before I have to go to work. And it's got to get done, right? I know it's just a garage sink. But we have people that live with us, tenants in the back, and people who live with us, our neighbors. And, we got to make sure that this thing is up and running, right? And because if I don't, my wife's going to think that I let her down. And I don't want to let her down because we're men. Right? So, anyway. I'm going to cut out this video. You're not going to miss anything. Because by the time I come back, it's just going to be, I'm going to tape these videos together and poof, you're going to be right back with me. And I'm going to be showing you how I fix this thing. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I have faith that I can do it. I know I'm going to get this done. All right? And, not everybody knocks it out of the park on my first try like my wife did. You know what I mean? You have to choose your partners wisely. You got to make sure you choose the right person because they're going to be with you. You're going to be with them for the rest of your life. Because you're not going to get divorced. Well, many people do. But that's what we're trying to prevent, right? So, I'm going to go hit this store up and I'll be back. I don't know how to do that. I've seen people do that. Let's see if I can get it going. All right, so right now I'm on my way to Home Depot. But I'm gonna, since they're not open yet, it's only 5:30. I'm gonna stop off at the gas station because it turns out I only got 10 miles of gas, and I work all the way out in Beverly Hills, so I'm not gonna be able to make it with only 10 miles. So, and why do I bring that up? So I bring that up because one thing that I noticed that helps out a lot is efficiency. Because in marriage, women, your wife, especially, if you're a man or a woman, there's a lot of obligations that you have. There's a lot of things you got to do. So I got all these things I want to do, like go to, I obviously have to go to work and work 8 hours. I work in Beverly Hills. That's an hour and a half drive there, an hour and a half drive back. So if I want to be able to, go running, or if I want to be able to fix the sink, or I want to be able to do this or do that, I got to wake up super early, and I also have to figure out ways to be efficient. I want to have a podcast, right? But normally I'd be like, oh, well, I don't have time to record today because, I got to make sure that I, get what I need, or, fix the sink and do all this other stuff, and I'm just not going to have time. But, what I'm starting to learn is you got to find ways to be creative and efficient, so that way you could, get multiple things done. And hold on, I'm going to get me some Starbucks. They're called Starbies.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Can I get a venti cafe misto?
You got it.
Thank you. And that's basically just coffee with steamed milk. I know that's kind of lame, but it is what it is. I like them. Anyway, so being efficient, getting multiple tasks done at one time. Believe me, that's going to help a lot in marriage, because there's going to be a lot of things that your wife or your husband are going to expect from you, especially a dude. Your wife's going to expect a lot from you. And if you got certain things you want to be able to do and other stuff, you got to be able to do multitask. And I don't mean like multitask, like do more than one thing at the same, like your brain divided between two things. But I mean like truly multitasking, where I've merged two things into one. I took the fact that I got to spend time fixing a sink. It's going to take me all morning because I'm a bonehead and I don't know anything about fixing sinks other than common sense. And I got a podcast. So I got to be able to merge those together. I made it about the sink and talking about marriage, which was my topic, right? Give me 1 second here. Gotta get me some Starbucks. I don't want to make anybody else have to be in this video. I don't want to make them YouTube famous. They haven't done the work. So anyway, I usually come here every couple of days and get me one of these coffees, because usually I try to make it at home. I never drank coffee until I got married, believe it or not. My wife got me into coffee. She's like, oh, let's sit outside and have some coffee and talk. I was like, yeah, okay, you know how it is in the beginning, you'll do anything. And now I got a full-blown habit. I managed to go 43 years of my life without drinking coffee or having no desire at all to drink coffee. And now I'm a full-blown addict. So I got my wife to thank for that. Usually it doesn't take this long to get a coffee. But, oh, hi.
Total's $3.95.
Here you are. Ooh, look at that. All right. So I got lucky. Usually they're like, please answer the question at the bottom. They're just gonna ask you a quick question, and I feel obligated to give them $1 or whatever. It's so annoying. Lately they haven't been doing it, so I think they realize they're getting a lot of pushback on it. Because coffee at Starbucks is already pretty expensive. I'm paying $4 for basically coffee, just a regular coffee. It's not even one of the fancy ones. My wife gets this drink called the matcha tea. It's like $6 and something cents. Anyway, so multitasking, getting more than one thing done at the same time.
There you go.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, let's do this. So now I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm on my way to Home Depot. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Why doesn't that work? I don't get it. I see other people do it. So here I am now. I'm at Home Depot. As you can see, Home Depot. I gotta wait because they're not open. Still got another 12, 13 minutes or so till they open up. So, back to marriage. Marriage is one of those things where you're gonna find that you're gonna do a lot of stuff for your marriage, guy or girl, where you're not gonna feel appreciated or like that person's doing enough. A lot of times we feel like that person's not doing as much as we are in the relationship. And my wife and I are probably both guilty of that. And I'll tell you what, man, that's something that you gotta just put out your head, because the reality is that marriage is hard work, and sometimes it's gonna feel like you're putting in more effort than your partner. But that's something the devil plants in your head about your marriage, because the devil definitely wants to break your marriage up. And I'll tell you what, he's tried many times to break up our marriage, and so far me and my wife have been able to make it through those tough battles that we have where we're under attack. And so that's definitely something that the devil wants to get rid of, because it's something that God really cares about. There's a lot of scripture in the Bible, especially in the Gospels, that talk about marriage and how important it is. And the book of Matthew, for example, states very clearly that God hates divorce. And earlier this morning, when I went for my run, I talked about Mark 10. And I only put, one verse on there. I think it was verse 9, which basically just says that what God has put together, let no man or no one tear apart, or something like that. And he puts that in there because the devil definitely wants to tear apart your marriage. And, you don't want to let him do that. So, in here it says, there's chapter 10, starts off with divorce. And this is written by Mark, the Apostle Mark, or one of the disciples. And he says, Jesus then left the place and went into the region of Judea and across the Jordan. Again, crowds of people came to him, and as his custom, he taught them. Some Pharisees came and tested him by asking, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife?" Like, look at these dudes. They have this attitude, like when times get tough, I want to be able to just throw my marriage away in the trash like it meant nothing. But people don't realize that a marriage is a covenant. Me, my wife, it's not just us, it's God. So there's three of us. It's me, my wife, and then God. And who is God? God is the Father, the Son, and he's the Holy Spirit, right? And these guys, these Pharisees, who are supposed to be the holy men of the time, the Jewish holy men, I believe, the Hebrews, they're asking Jesus about whether or not they could just sign a certificate of divorce. And, whether it's okay just to kick your wife to the curb. And, of course, Jesus responds like this. He says, "What did Moses command you?" He replied. They said, "Moses permitted a man to write a certificate of divorce and send her away. All we got to do is give her a piece of paper and we're done with it." Right? I don't know about you guys, but, if you're married, I know I can't be the only guy who's ever thought the grass was greener somewhere else. Right? That where times got tough, you just wanted to bounce and just be like, "So, man, I'm out of here." "Well, you have no respect for me? What? You're yelling at me all the time? What? You're not happy? I'm out of here." I mean, how many times have you would have to be honest with yourself, but I know plenty of times the devil's been in my ear making me think that I'd be better off just being single, going back to my old life and, hoarding all my money to myself, or being able to spend all my time to myself and just do my own thing, right? sometimes the devil will get in your ear and he'll tell you that life is so much better. Like, there might be men out there who are married, been married a long time, and they might see a single guy who's going around and, going on trips, vacations maybe, sleeping around with a bunch of different women. Damn, man, I was trying to get no, just kidding. But, they're doing all this stuff and they think to themselves, man, I wish I was single and doing that guy. Man, that guy's living the dream. Let me tell you, I've been single for many years, that kind of thing. And, it didn't, I think, I believe that marriage is a valuable thing. It's something worth pursuing, because nothing worthwhile is going to come easy or be easy to do. Marriage is a lifelong journey that you take with somebody. And the problem is that we never want to put any kind of effort into it. And a lot of times we direct our efforts at the wrong object. We're trying to we're trying to get our partners to make all the effort. Trying to say, oh, well, he needs to do this and he needs to do that. Or she needs to do this or she needs to do that. And that kind of thing. That's why I say choose your partner wisely. You have to choose your partner wisely and that's not an original idea, but you want to choose your partner wisely because that's the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And, that's really something. So let me go on and finish up what this guy says about divorce. He says, it was because your hearts were hard that Moses wrote you this law. Jesus replied. And he's talking about because of the certificate of divorce. But then he says, but at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. He made them male and female. And he's basically saying that he made them to enter into a union together. That he made Eve for Adam. That they were to become one flesh. He says here, but at the beginning, blah, blah, blah. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. I can't tell you how many times my wife can attest to this. Ask her, ladies. So many times I wanted, anytime there's been a few times, and I'll admit this, in the beginning where we broke up, and I would just go right back to my mom's house and just, hey, mama, your baby boy's home. I'm home. Where's my room? My room's always waiting for me. It's still waiting for me. My mom's kept it nice and clean. She even fixed it up. It's waiting for me anytime I want. And my wife hates that. You could ask her about it. But we're supposed to leave our father and mother and be united to our wife. We become one flesh. It says here, and the two will become one flesh. Right? We're no longer two people, but we're one flesh anyway. And he says, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Like I just said, I keep getting ahead of myself here. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Okay? He's saying that, let no one separate, because he knows the devil wants to attack the institution of marriage. Marriage is a gift. It is a gift to God. It's something we're supposed to honor God with, right? God allows us to have sexual and intimate relations with our partner, and he only wants that to be done with our partner. Paul the Apostle made it clear in one of the Gospels. I'm not going to go find it for you right now, but he made it clear he would prefer that we lived absent of sexual relations, that we lived like he did. But he says as a concession, that God created marriage, that marriage is between a man and a woman to be able to have this bond with one another. And so he's making it clear here, Mark, that Jesus says, these are words from Jesus. He says here, when they were in the, he says that when they were in the house again, the disciples asked Jesus about this. And he answered, anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another man, she commits adultery. Jesus is making it clear that sexual relations outside of your marriage, or divorcing your wife or divorcing your husband, is a sin. And we know that sin separates us from God. So we have to if you decided to get married, if you made that decision to get married, well, you're going to have to just own that, because to do otherwise is an offense against God. And it just is what it is. You entered into a covenant. You made the decision. That's why I say choose wisely, because I know for me, I know in my heart that, there were times where I was like, man, I'm through. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this. But the one thing that kept me in my marriage, I mean, there's a lot of things that kept me in my marriage. I mean, I have a beautiful, amazing wife. But the main thing that kept me in my marriage was that I fear God. And I don't fear that God's going to smite me and smash me down, but I fear disappointing him. God is a loving God. He loves you. He loves me. He loves us. He's a forgiving God. He's a patient God. It's clear in the Bible that he is those things. But he says that we should, follow God. I'm paraphrasing here, but to follow God and do what's right in fear and trembling of God. And I think that what that means, and what it means for me, is that I fear disappointing God because I love him back, and I want to make sure that I'm a good son. And so, but like a loving father that he is, he will rebuke you, he will teach you, he will punish you. And that being said, we need to take our marriages seriously. And so what I've done now is I'm sitting here in the parking lot at Home Depot, and in a way, I'm doing this for my marriage. I am doing this for my marriage, because I know, like I said before, my wife sent me the message where I'm actually really proud of myself, because I wanted to blow up and be like, I do a lot. I didn't want to blow up. I mean, I'm getting better at this actually, but normally I would blow up and be like, hey, I do a lot. Like, why are you coming at me like this? I do a lot for our marriage, and I do a lot for the house. Like, cause in her message, she was making it clear that she basically said I'm not doing anything. And normally I get upset about that. But I'm proud of myself because I didn't get upset. And I just thought to myself, okay, what can I do? How should I respond to work on me, to make me a better man, to make me a real high value? There's a lot of guys out there talking about how, a lot of pickup artists and all that kind of stuff. If that's the type of thing you're looking for, this ain't your channel. But right here, I'm talking about how to become closer to God and closer to your wife, and build your marriage and strengthen your marriage, because that's what I focus on. And what I realize is that if I want to focus on my marriage and build my marriage, I have to start with me. I got to work on building me. There's not much, like I was saying earlier, there's nothing you could do for your spouse other than pray for them. Other than that, there's nothing you can do. And you can't pray, make them do this or make them do that, make them wash my clothes or make him fix the sink. You're basically praying to God to help you respond. God put your wife or your husband into your life, a perfect husband or wife for you, whether you believe that or not, because there's so much to learn when it comes to your growth as a human being from your partner. If there's one person that's going to tell you like it is, it's going to be your partner. Because they're the person that knows you the best. After you've been together a while, they know you the best. They know you know each other, and they're going to be honest with you. My wife is 100% brutally honest, and I mean brutal. She's brutally honest with my shortcomings. And I could either get angry and upset because she's calling me out on all my BS, or I could listen and try to, work on that type of thing. Ooh, Home Depot's open, so I'll be back. So I was able to get the parts that I need. Thought I'd stop off, put a little gas. Oh, still not even pumping. There we go. Hopefully I don't forget to turn it off after a few bucks. So that's why, there we go. So that's why I stopped off to get some gas, and guess what? Now I've killed two birds with a stone, and I don't have to do this later. I was gonna do it anyway. Might as well just do it on my way back home. It's still only like 6:20. Family's not even up yet. Still getting all this stuff done. Doing what I need to do for the house before anybody even wakes up. For them, it's like it never happened. But we know. Alright guys, almost done. Alright guys, I'm back. So, I got the parts I need, like I said. Let's see if we can make it happen. Now, if I'm able to pull this off, I will not only have solved the problem that I was having here, but I will have saved myself about 15 bucks because I bought a brand new sink because I thought, it'd just be easier to buy a brand new sink. Because when I went to Home Depot yesterday, I did not have these little pieces with me to find the correct ones. So, guess what happened? Well, that's gonna look funky. Well, that should be okay. I didn't have those things, so I just said, screw it, I'm just gonna buy a new sink. Guess what? Now that I had to go back, I might be able to pull this off. And the cool thing too is that because I had these problems, I had to turn off the video multiple times. And I started, recording different things. But while I was waiting at Home Depot, I thought to myself, I should learn how to piece the videos together. So I taught myself how to do that. So I should be able to put out a video today of everything all in one clip. So you guys can see it all in one clip. And I don't have to do multiple clips. And what an opportunity to learn how to do something with the videos and stuff. So the problem I have here now is that the water here, I wasn't able to turn it off because I don't know where the, oh, look at that. Because I don't know where the hot water lever is. So I'm just going to take this off. Uh-oh. Whoa. Uh-oh. Big problem. Big problem. Ah, shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where's that? Where's the thing? Shit. Oh. Don't panic. Don't panic. Shit. Come on, baby. Uh-oh. that, guys, is how you do not fix a sink. Now I really look sweaty. But if I'm lucky, I can still get this done before the wife wakes up. Okay. So now, all I gotta do is put this on top and screw it in. Okay. That's my screwdriver. See? No problem. All right. Like that. And this. Put that like this.
You're professional.
I am now. Right. Now I gotta go and turn everything back on before the wife finds out. Well, guys, after all that, still got a leak. I thought I was gonna get away with this, but turns out there's still problems. And just like marriage, you might put all this effort in and still wind up with the same problems. But you don't give up. Catch you next time when I actually replace the whole sink. Now, you can't replace your wife, but I could certainly replace that sink. All right, guys, stay holy.